A lot of guys hurt in that locker room. I hurt for them. They hurt because they invested, and they came up short. I don't know if we necessarily got beat, but we came up short, and I don't mean that as a slight to Baylor. Matt's done an incredible job here. They played with a ton of confidence. They didn't play very well, but they found a way to win, and they got a lot of moxie. They got some guys that have been through some battles, veterans on both sides. But our kids really competed. They competed. We had a great last week and a half preparation for this game. Felt good about it coming in. I know we were 18, 19-point underdog. I knew the people didn't give us much a chance. But I really felt good about this game coming in. And so I just hurt for our guys. I hurt for them. Told them after the game, I'm proud of them, and I mean that. I'm proud of them. It's not okay to lose, but I'm proud of them. I appreciate them. I love them. They're buying in. We lost a bunch of guys during the game. Staley was hurt early in the week. Tried to give it a go, but he couldn't go in pregame. Then we lost multiple guys during the course of that game, and thought guys that hadn't played very much came in and stepped up. That was a tremendous defensive effort. I mean, they gave us a chance. I thought that was the story of the game. We had 8 sacks, 10 TFLs, had a goal line stand, a forced a few fumbles. Special teams, we had a kickoff return, was huge. We had the fumble recovery on the punt. I thought our kickoff team and our punt coverage was really, really good. And then offense, it was just a struggle. I mean, they whipped us up front. I mean, we can sit here and we can talk about it and all we want, but they just, they had their way with us up front. We had multiple drops. I think I think we had 5, and 3 of them would have been for first downs. 2 of them would have swung the field position battle, but it was a struggle. Putting a lot of pressure on quarterback when we struggle to run the ball, and and it wasn't anything special they were doing. They kind of played what they did, and they whipped us, and that's what it was. So with that, I'll answer questions. Yeah, he's performed well, and that's my fault. We got people that are kind of in charge of looking at the clock, but at the end of the day, it's my fault. I'm sitting there worrying about how we're going to use our timeouts, how we're going to kick off, and I didn't see the clock, so that's on me. That's on me, and he hit the first one and felt good about it, and we had late ball get off. They got good push, and they've done a good job. I guess they've blocked 9 kicks now in 12 games. I mean, we knew what they were going to do. They put 3 guys down there, and it's about 900 pounds, and they get pushed. And what happens, our play side guard was laid off the ball, and they got pushed, and he got it. But I got a lot of confidence in him. Any pressure situation we put him in practice, he's came through. Now, I think he kicked off one time against Baylor last year, but this was the first time that he'd been in a football game, period. So he didn't play football in high school, and so, but I've got confidence in him. Yeah, no, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. They kept us in it, and I thought our defensive line, we just played really hard. We played hard on offense, just not very good. And some of that's, I mean, what we're down to. I mean, but yeah, I thought especially our defensive line. I mean, they really put pressure on Charlie all night, and they made some contested catches. They're good at wideout. Obviously the one was kind of the backbreaker there at the end of the game. It was, I got to see it. I didn't see how it landed. I know there's some pushing and shoving. I just got to look before I speak about it. Yeah, I told you, Alex. You can ask a bunch of questions. I just told you. I told you it was my fault. So we can put a bunch of blame. I mean, bottom line, I'm the head coach. My fault. Yeah, well, we're about out of linebackers. You know what I mean? So it's kind of out of necessity. And then we lost Guzman, who was playing that kind of third safety, and then we were really kind of in base, and we were kind of moving Jake Long around, trying to teach him right in the middle in the game. I mean, if you look at it from an injury standpoint, we lose Barrett, we lose Simmons, we lose Kennedy. defensively, we had a bunch of things for Kennedy. We showed some of that Wildcat stuff early. We held a bunch of it. We were hoping in the second half, and we lost him. Said Timmons, and then Wheaton got banged up. And then defensively, Norwood with the penalty. Then we lose Guzman. We don't have very many scholarship safeties anyway. And so credit to, I thought, Vic and the defense staff really kind of scrambled and got us. Our kids played hard, but we got us in some things schematically that gave us a chance. Yeah, I'll have to go. One of them was on the wide out. I'm not sure all those are correct. I got to go back and look. I don't know until I see them. I can't speak on them. But I mean, we just got beat. I mean, we can sit up here and talk all we want. I mean, you can watch the game. There's some things. I mean, we're struggling for a reason. I mean, we got some deficiencies. We try to hide them. We got to do a better job as coaches. I mean, I've said that the whole time. But they've got 3 down linemen that are really good. They're really good. And if you look at it, everybody they've played had trouble against them. But now they're both. Neither one of them weren't even supposed to be snapped yet. They weren't even supposed to be snapped. So I can't explain that. Honestly, I don't. Neither one of them had been asked for the ball, I don't believe. And so I don't know how many lost yardage. I mean, killed a red zone. I mean, we were in there the first drive of the second half. We're inside the 10. It's 1st and goal, right? It's hard to overcome that. Yeah. I mean, it does. I mean, it does. But here's the deal, man. We had a chance to win the game. Defensively, played well enough. Offensively, we had 3rd and 2, and we went for a home run, and the play was there. We didn't execute very well, but the play was there. Felt like that we needed to be aggressive and win. You know, we went for it on 4th down. Casey kicked the ball really good there in pregame, so that's why I felt really confident in him tying it up. And, you know, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to. You got to go back and kind of watch it and kind of assess. I think both teams made a lot of mistakes in this game. You know, I don't think it was a pretty football game, which probably played into our hands, really. It was probably ugly at times, probably to watch. But here's what I think. Okay, so they're number 12 in the country. They're undefeated. They're in year 3 of a really good turnaround. I don't think their kids ever lost faith. They have a lot of confidence in their ability. I think it goes back to their quarterback because he's a tough kid and he competes. And we're in year 1 here. And I think what this showed is we came on the road in a hostile environment on Halloween, national TV, coming off a putrid half of football at Oklahoma, and we lost 3 in a row. And I think what you saw is a group of kids that laid it on the line and invested, okay, and fought. And at the end of the deal, we just ran out of time. We didn't necessarily get beat. We just ran out of time. And now what we've got to take is we've got to take that same strain, that same effort we played, the same physicality we play, especially on the defensive side and on special teams. All right, and then we've got to continue to do that and find ways to give ourselves the ability to get the ball in the end zone offensively. And so we played good enough to win on special teams, played good enough to win on defense, and offensively we didn't. Mm-hmm. No, kind of what I said the other day in the press conference. We're talking about we just had to focus on getting better. To me, it's getting better. I knew if we continued this process of getting better, we just trusted what we were doing. If we focused on the task in hand and didn't get carried away, all right, on being result oriented, if we just focused on position meetings, team meetings, periods of practice, carried it in, did our preparation, I knew we'd have a chance to win the game. And we did. And we'll have a chance to win the last. Every game that we play, we'll have a chance if we do those things. All right? So I never for one second thought that our kids wouldn't answer the bell. Every time they've had any adversity, they've answered. And that's why I hurt for them. You know, as a coach, when guys lay it on the line, we got emotional kids. And, I mean, we got guys that are hurting in that locker room. And hurting because they invested. And they're all in on what we're doing. And some of the belief that happened tonight, it'll pay off down the road. It'll pay off at some point this season. It's going to pay off in years to come. Anybody else? Yeah. We just said we're going to come out and throw the football. You know, I don't even know how many times we tried to run in the second half. We made the decision at half. We were just going to come out and throw it. We were getting spread sets and throw it. We felt like we had an opportunity to hit a home run. George came in there and did it. Made a great play, and it was a great throw. And they changed how they were playing us after that. But that was really coming out of halftime. Who had the last one? Okay. All right.